Siguro, pero lalong magugulo yung lalong magugulo yung bansa natin kung we'll go to
But where
impeachment.
does the minorities? You do have
Hindi, iba-iba kami ng
yeah.
iba-iba kami ng positions, pero ako, ang sabi ko nga parang inconsistent if I will be joining the impeachment complaint against BP Sara kasi she was accused of embezzling 125 million and 500 million in the DepEd as against 1 trillion. So parang kung buti pa impeach na lang natin pareho para fair.
I don't think that's possible, seriously speaking. So are you saying you will not support the impeachment of Vice President Sara Duterte?
No, I will not sign that kasi nga nakita ko na-incentivize yung mga United Congress para mag-impeach sa kanya.
So paano yun? By saying this right now on the head start, baka wala ka ng pondo na ilabas sa'yo.
Ay, okay lang yan. Talagang ganyan.
Does it really happen?
Well, alam mo, tagal ko na sa politics, 50 years So, this is my, siguro mga last days in politics. So, gawin ko na lang yung tama na sa tingin ko.
No, but has that happened to you, for example?
Yes, during the time of Duterte, I was the first one who spoke against the war on drugs. So, for 1 year, tinanggal yung pondo ng distrito ko.
Oo.
Pero I never talked to them.
Okay. All right. Now, I want to ask you about the DPWH budget. So, the DPWH budget has been significantly reduced.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But reports have it that in the end, 2/3 of it still went to allocables.
Well, importante rin talaga. Yung allocables nga, yun ang mali kasi hindi equitable yung distribution Not on the need, not on, for example, walang basis Ano bang basis niyan? Population, land area, yung economic status ng lugar, walang ganoon Basta ang nangyayari na lang, nagkakaroon ng mga submission sa DPWH ang bawat district engineering offices. Tapos, it's the DPWH who decides kung ano-anong mga projects yung ilalagay sa bawat distrito. At tingin ko mali yun. Mali yung dapat talaga may parameters in allocating funds on the basis of need, on the basis of population, the basis of land area.
Because the problem now, so there is no flood control in this budget. Although meron pang MOOE apparently, there's 2.5 billion for existing project maintenance.
Pero alam mo, yung mali yun. Tingin ko, knee-jerk decision ng presidente yung pag-aalis ng flood control. Kaya by June, July, mararamdaman ng mga tao yung lalong matinding pagbaha. So, sisisihin uli ang presidente. Bakit mo tinanggal yung flood control? Ang sabi, meron pa raw flood control project na na-hold nung 2025. Yan nga yung mga kalokohang project So, dapat siguro, isa-isahin kung ano yung matino, yun yung i-implement. Yung hindi matino, yun ang tanggalin.
Now, the unprogrammed appropriations, what would happen if, for example, the Supreme Court sided with your petition and they issue a TRO? What can happen to the 2026
No,
budget?
yung unprogrammed funds lang.
Yun lang yun.
Hindi naman yung
So technically, services will not be affected. But
the whole budget will not be affected. Only the unprogrammed funds.
But can the Supreme Court just make an outright decision and say,
well, we have a prayer for a temporary restraining order para hindi mo na gamitin yung unprogrammed funds.
Hindi, iba yung hindi mo na gamitin, iba yung hindi na kayo pwede maglagay. Pwede ba is that part of your petition?
No, ano pa lang naman yung for the 2026 budget, para hindi magamit yung unprogrammed funds, humihingi kami ng restraining order.
Yun lang.
Pero eventually, syempre, ang gusto namin, mag-decide na talaga ang Supreme Court. Not just for 2026, but for the next years.
Yeah, but is the Supreme Court decision actually, I mean, while it is binding and it becomes the law of the land, is it really respected and followed when making the budget? I'll give you an example. The PDAF. It was so clear, the Supreme Court's decision on the PDAF, and yet we still see it using another map.
Yes, but At in this case, maliwanag naman to na pagka nag-decide in favor sa petition namin ang Supreme Court, all budget of expenditures magkakaroon ng definite source of financing.
Yun ang gusto nyo.
Yun ang gusto.
Oo. Pero, pag nag-decide, pwede pa rin may unprogrammed appropriations na rider. Dapat matanggal yun.
Wala na. Pag nag-decide ng Supreme Court, wala na. At nagtataka ako kay Presidente, kung tinanggal niya yan, di wala nang issue.
Lahat, no?
Lahat.
Pero, ang problem,
Yung mga pork na sinasabi na yan, policy issue yan ng Presidente.
Kaso paano niya tatanggalin yung support to foreign assisted projects?
Ang sinabi niya naman, hindi pa naman final eh. So, he can always ask for a supplemental budget kung ready na yung proyekto. Ang sinasabi ni Senator Sherwin, matagal daw, super majority ang madali lang yan. Pwede niya pang i-certify yan kung na urgent eh. Basta may supplemental budget na request ang nagagawa na yan noon eh. Noong panahon ni Pinoy, natandaan ko na sinertify niya yung isang budget of expenditures na meron ng source of financing. So, kumuha kami ng supplemental budget na approve naman kagad.
Okay, looking at the budget on its face, what legacy is the administration leaving? Kasi during Duterte's time, removing the whole EJK, the drug war, I remember, it was really setting aside the biggest in terms of GDP to infrastructure. And they built it. They started building, and even they started finishing projects that were started by the late President Noynoy Aquino.
Well, I think malaki talaga ang problema ng bansa natin kasi yung nireduce yung budget ng DPWH. Yan yung pinakamalaking source ng public spending. So, tapos hinigpitan, pagkatapos bukod dyan, binabaan yung presyo across the board. Yung iba dyan, baka hindi realistic. Hindi natin alam kasi hanggang ngayon nga, usually mga November, December, nagbibidding na for the following year. Ngayon, January na, wala pang announcement kung anong rules ngayon ng bidding. So, baka makapag-bid yan, February, March. So, yung public spending for the first quarter talagang bababa. So, yung GDP natin, ang forecast ng mga experts, baka swerte ng mga 3% by first quarter.
And would this be lower than COVID?
Maybe. Kasi maski yung mga contractors, takot nang mag-bid. Sabi nila, hinto muna kami, hindi maliwanag yung rules of the game. So, hinto muna kami. Kaya nakita natin pati yung retail nung Pasko, di ba? Bagsak ang retail. Ang sinasabi sa akin ng mga negosyante, bagsak sila by as much as 50%. So, hindi ko alam kung ano ang magagawa pa ng administrasyon except siguro yung pagbibigay na ng ayuda. Yun na lang siguro.
But ang pagbibigay ng ayuda, do you see that as actually growing the economy?
Well, siguro, public spending, di ba? Yun pa rin, yun ang magbibigay nun. Magkakaroon ng pambili yung mga tao.
Okay, all right. I think at the end of the day, you are going to the Supreme Court tomorrow.
Yes.
And anything you'd like to add? Will Speaker Boji D first? Is he going to retain his position? Because there were talks of Ronnie Puno possibly becoming the next speaker.
I don't think that the President that it will be a wise decision for the President to replace Boji D. Napaka-loyal na tao sa kanya yan. Walang agenda yan. Saka, matagal ko nang kilala si Boji. Kung ano yung sabihin niya, yun nasa isip niya. Wala nang iba.
Why? The danger would be?
Hindi natin alam kasi I respect Congressman Puno, pero it's been there for so long, very kasama siya sa mga power plays. So, unlike Boji D, talagang local guy yan.
Well, I want to ask you, where is former House Speaker Martin Romualdez? Does he go to work?
Hindi ko nakikita.
Okay. And also his wife, do they go to work?
Hindi ko nakikita.
Okay. What happens if a legislator doesn't show up and go to work? I mean, this is the same question with Bato de la Rosa, right?
Marami naman ako hindi nakikita.
This is... And is it... Are there rules at least?
Hindi, baka naman nasa opisina nila, o
Hindi, kung
kaya-
sa trabaho, bawal ang absent ka ng
Baka naman
absent.
di ko lang napapansin, gano'n.
But are there rules at the very least?
Wala naman. Wala naman. Except siguro kung mag-abroad ka ng matagal, gano'n.
No, you need to ask
Yes.
permission.
Hindi ko na,
At
I will not
travel
name names, ha. I will not, kasi matagal na ako sa Kongreso. Meron akong mga dating colleagues. Nakikita ko lang pag SONA. Tapos makikita ko ulit sa susunod na SONA.
Oh, gosh. This is depressing on so many levels. Okay. All right. Last words, Representative Erice. Anything you want to add? I think on a more important note is, I think for the president,
Yes. We are pushing for reforms.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
this is one way of pushing for reform. Tanggalin na natin yung unprogrammed funds. Pero marami pa dapat gawin ng presidente. Siguro kapalit ng mga nangyaring kalokohan. Dapat talaga maging seryoso ang presidente dun sa mga sinabi niya na priority niya, yung anti-political dynasty law, yung sa party list reform, yung ICI dapat talaga. We cannot, kilala ko si Ombudsman Boying Rimulya, but he is too close to Malacanang para pagtiwalaan.
so you want the ICI to stay.
Yes.
But
Kaya
I
may
think
batas
they're-
kami, mayroon
Oo.
kami proposed
But
bill.
they're wrapping that up.
Kasi sinabi ni Presidente na priority niya. So, binilisan namin. Nakapasa na to sa second readings, sa committee level.
Yeah.
So, it's up to Congress para madala na sa plenary para maipasa namin. So, yan yung mga dapat na maging seryoso yung Pangulo dun sa mga sinasabi niya. Kasi dun sa mga sinasabi niya, parang wala pang natutupad. ICI, wala pa yan. Anti-political dynasty, yung final ni Congressman Sandro, pro-political dynasty, pwede 10 kada pamilya. So, tapos yung party list reform, tapos yung sinabi niya, meron siya mga papakulong, wala naman nakulong. So, ang dami niyang sinasabi na hindi natutupad. So, lalong bumababa yung trust ng mamamayan sa kanya. At nalulungkot ako doon. Bakit? Kasi habang bumabagsak yung trust ng tao sa kanya, bumabagsak yung ekonomiya natin. At habang bumabagsak yung ekonomiya natin, maraming kawawa. Kasi ako, basa yung pa ako eh. Ibig sabihin, nandun ako sa masa eh. Ramdam ko yung kinakasaglakan nila at mga pagdurusan nila eh. So, kaya dapat iangat ni Presidente yung credibility niya, yung tiwala ng mamamayan sa kanya dahil yun, malaking bagay yun para umangat yung ekonomiya natin.
On that note, Representative Edgar Erice, thank you for joining me today on Head Start.